to welcome to another evening in my RV. I'm just going to open up the comments right now. Alright, just opening the comments so I can chat along with you guys. Let me see, where do I see this? So I thought that I would do another video, hang out with you guys, and we can do live chat. I've got to make some food for the dogs, and yeah. So let's see. Welcome, Doug. Let's see. I'll look at it down here. So welcome to my RV, and I'll get started on making some food, and we can live chat as it goes along. So jump on to the live chat. I love when we can go back and forth, and we'll get going. So, hey Stan, welcome, and Wandering Renegade, what's up? Not much, just hanging out in my RV, making some food, and talking with you guys. Welcome, Gio. Hello, Roy in Florida. Hey, Devin and S. Sand. Hi. Thank you guys for coming. Let's see. So, it was Memorial Day. Did you guys do anything fun? I've actually got a pretty cool Memorial Day story, so I'll be sharing that soon. I'm just gonna get the dog's rice going. Oh, let's see. Hey, Rodney in Alabama. Welcome, Kevin. And Kevin says, how goes the house? House is going well. It was nice to have 3 days off, so that was really needed rest there. Welcome, David from Eastern. I wonder if you were going to write Sierra. It says Sear. Len. Welcome, Len from Florida. And Dustin from Oklahoma. Kevin Campbell says, it's a party now. Yes. Pull up a chair. Have a glass of wine, a beer, whatever. Thank you, Santa. Welcome. Nice. Wandering Renegade was hiking and photography in the great outdoors. It's a good way to spend your day. Roy says, what kind of beverages do I like? I'm assuming you might be talking about alcoholic beverages. Well, I like wine. Well, I'll pretty much drink anything, you know, if there's something kind of unique for it. But I like wine, and I've recently figured out that I like vodka tonics, especially if the vodka has like a flavor. Actually, I really like that. So I kind of like the bitterness to it, and then like the bubbles in the tonic. So welcome. Okay, let's see. It's kind of hard to keep up with everybody. Welcome and happy Memorial Day. Thank you guys for joining. Nice, Mark from Australia. Mark England from Australia. Isn't that unique? So, yes, Richard, thank you for joining, and awesome to have you live, too. Roy, are you talking about the slides, changing out the slide motor? Yeah, that was quite a bit of work, but really glad I did it myself, because now I know how to, you know, if I need to do it again. So, let me get this going. Whoops, I need that out. So I have a, hey Rusty in Houston, oh my gosh, did you guys get a ton of weather last night? Up here we got it too. I looked at the radar, and it was just radar stuff all the way down from Houston all the way up past north of Dallas, but it was kind of going at like a crescent shape, so we just got the edge of it, thankfully. But it's been thunderstormy and tornado-y a lot lately. In fact, there's a town, Bowie, it just got hit 2 nights ago. And I think that's like, well, I didn't look, but I kind of looked on the map. I think that's roughly like 30, 40 miles away from where I'm at. They got a lot of stuff ruined, so that's unfortunate. All right. So anyway, I have a fun story to share, and it goes along with Memorial Day. By the way, happy Memorial Day. I hope that you were able to remember your loved ones who have passed on. So here's my story with that. The other day, so I have a little like jewelry box from my grandparents that I just inherited, a little, little wood box, and I was looking through it and just kind of remembering. It was just kind of cool to like look at that and be like, oh, people from many years before have like used this and looked at it and stuff like that. Roy, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And now I can't remember how many things of water have I put in here. Darn it. Did anybody notice I put 4 in? Okay, let me get the powder and the flavor in there for them, and then I'll tell the story because I'm worried I'm going to get distracted. Anyway, I have this jewelry box, and I was just kind of admiring it the other day, just a couple days ago, and thinking about my grandparents, and who have all passed on at this point. And then I got this this feeling like, oh, so then I have this other little wooden box that has some trinkets from my grandpa, and I got this like inspiration, right, to go look at that box, and I was like, I've looked in there a couple times. It's just like some old stuff, which is kind of just fun, that he had it and collected little things and stuff. And so I got this inspiration. Oh, go look at that box now. And me, I was like, no, I'm gonna get. That'll take too much time. I don't. And then I got the inspiration again. Go look at the box, and I was like, all right, I'll go look at the box. And so I pulled it out, and I opened it up, and remember now, I've looked in that box before, through all the stuff, and when I opened it up this time, there was a necklace in a piece of paper, like it was when it was bought, like in the paper, and it said, this necklace and chain or metal or whatever has been blessed, and something like that, and I was like, oh my gosh, I've like looked through this box, but I never really saw that necklace. It was sitting on top on this thing, and then right next to it was a pin with an angel, and it said something like, this is your guardian angel letting you know you'll never be alone, or something like that. And both of those things, I've looked through this box before, but they were sitting on top, and I was like, these look vaguely familiar, but they never stuck out to me like they did when I looked this last time. That I was inspired to go look, even though I didn't want to, but then I was like, inspired again, almost pushed to go look through this box. And I just thought it was such an amazing thing. So this is the necklace. It's a heart with a pearl in it. And I don't know how well you can see that. But it just really stuck out to me this time, where it hasn't before, and I didn't even really remember it from before. Specifically. So I thought that was kind of cool that, I was thinking about my grandparents, And then, you know, I got this little voice saying, go look in the box. And then there's a necklace, you know, that says, this is blessed for you and your guardian angel is here. And so I thought that was kind of cool. So anyway, that is my Memorial Day story. So let me check the comments. I haven't been looking at them. Yes, Kevin, isn't that cool? That I really think that they were like inspiring me, like, go look, you know. So when I saw that, it felt like a gift, you know, from my grandpa on the other side, you know, and it was just, it was pretty amazing to get that. Yuka's back from Finland. Awesome, Yuka, thank you for joining. I might be pronouncing that wrong. I'm sorry if I am. Yeah, Big L says you should follow your tarot. That's interesting. I wouldn't have expected you to say that, so that's kind of cool. So, all right, let me get this on the stove. So I'll get that going. And I already ate. I had some leftovers, but I might have something a little bit later. So let's see. Jack from Canada West. Awesome. Welcome, Jack from Canada. That's an interesting idea, Big Al. He says he can see me making a lot of money doing tarot. Does anybody make a lot of money doing tarot readings? I'm not sure. So, but anyway, so I make these for my dogs. In fact, I'd get bigger ones. They used to have bigger ones, and now there's none of these. So I'm going to have to switch the dog's food over to, so I give them the rice, and then I would give them the ground beef. But since that's kind of going scarce right now, I might be giving them eggs. So I don't know how well they're going to take that. So all right. So anyway, let me make some tea. What are you guys drinking this evening? I know here it was a very rainy, gloomy day. I think Memorial Day is supposed to be, you know, kind of like the beginning of summer, but not here. Oh, and then cross your fingers for me. The campground that I was hoping to get the host job at, they are opening apparently through the grapevine. I've heard that. But I've not heard back from the ranger. I keep emailing him like, I'm ready. So cross your fingers for me that they are still able to hire after all this. Corey says, I just poured Welch's grapefruit juice on my Cocoa Puffs. That's going to be an interesting one. So, oh shoot. Have anybody seen like changes? You know, is stuff opening up? I hear in the news it has that, you know, people are able to go to beaches, and I don't know about California. They might be one of the most strict ones, but I think places are opening, so that's good news for people hoping, waiting to get jobs or get their old jobs back. Let's see. DLKN, long-time subscriber, first-time commenting. Thank you for commenting. I love reading your guys' comments, and I know many people that comment are repeat commenters, which is awesome because then I get to know, you know, I actually kind of get to know people. Unless they change their name or their profile picture, then it's a little harder. But I do appreciate people that comment that have watched for quite a while and then haven't commented yet, so thank you, that's awesome. Rural Oregon counties are opening up, but businesses can choose if they want to open up. Portland's still closed. Well, good. That's good. I'm really ready to like get back on into the swing of things. Places opening in AZ, Arizona. Still a lot of masks everywhere. Jobs come back in Finland. Open next Monday. Yeah. So I think everybody is coming out of their dens. Big Al, have you been following the show since day one, since my first, and when I changed the broken water? Is that when you're saying? Because that's a long time ago. Thank you for following. Beach is opening in Florida, but people don't pay attention to the flags. Oh no! People went missing because of the riptides. That's not good. Since Righty Row. Awesome. Thank you guys for following. That's really amazing. Pretty amazing to have people following along with, you know, these journeys that May and the channel has been on, and now kind of, you know, solidified in history digitally in its own way. Oregon governor can only keep the state closed for 30 days. State requires Oregon Congress to keep it closed longer. Oh, wow. Oh, Big Al says he cried when my dog died. So did I. Man, that was not an easy thing to get over. Okay, DOKN says, I forgot to say hi to Chase and Pearl. I finally got one of those clippy things for my phone. So there's no falling over or anything, so I can show you them. Okay, is this the same video? Because it just cut out, and I hope it's not a new video. Can you see my comments? Okay. Can somebody comment to say that this is like the same video, because I had to close out the app and go over and change my Wi-Fi because I forgot if I'm on the campground Wi-Fi, then it doesn't work as well. So I just switched it over. What is this? Richard, I don't know what drowning has to do with social distancing. I think it's just the fact that they're not following directions or something. Okay, good. Oh, good. So did you guys see the video stop or something? What did it look like? It looks clear in the same video. Okay, good. All right. All right. Let me get this going. So today I kind of have not much activity going on, and so I don't know. I feel a little like, what am I doing? Okay, Styx says it's cutting off and on a couple times. I think it was cutting off and on before, because now I've switched over to my data. So I'm hoping that's going to be. Wait, what happened about a greyhound died? Bren, thanks for finally catching it. That's awesome. Wait, it's buffering right now? Oh my goodness. Please don't tell me there's problems. Oh no. Now, was it having freezes and problems before I cut it out? Because I did just cut it out because I had to go change to cellular. So hopefully that was cutting out before. So, oh man. All right. Okay, Chris says it's fine. Oh. Well, you guys, I'm sorry if it's not a great video quality. Normally, if I have it on the cellular data, it's okay. It was on the campground data or Wi-Fi. I forgot, so I just closed this app and while it was live, and I went over and turned off my Wi-Fi. So I know that it did that, but anyway. Some people say the video looks fine, some don't. I don't know what to do. Sorry. I'm gonna have some tea. Okay. Okay, good. Just go on. Yeah, so right now, I'm just going to have a cup of tea and hang out with you guys. I'm having licorice tea. It's one of my favorite teas. Actually, I have a couple favorite teas. Many of you know I love Earl Grey. It's my favorite. But because this is licorice root, because it's in the evening time, I'm going to go with no caffeine. Big Al says grilled cheese night on Pippi show. Wouldn't that be fun? Actually, I just went grocery shopping today and I got my favorite cheese. This is my favorite. Actually, if anybody's seen all of my episodes, I think you will know what cheese this is. It's Gruyere is my absolute favorite. Favorite cheese. So I got this, and I'm a big cheese fan. Awesome! I can't say your name because it's in Japanese, but thank you so much for contributing and supporting the channel. I really appreciate that. Awesome. Bren says, does licorice tea taste like licorice? Yes. It tastes like black licorice, not the red one. And it's quite sweet naturally. So it's very good. I recommend it. It's got that spice for, that kind of spiciness. Sherry Latulip says, what is a good tea for anxiety? You know what? Here's one. Honey lavender. Of course, I got this because I'm a big lavender fan, and I'm not the biggest fan of this flavor. It had a weird flavor to me. I normally like lavender foods, but this one was a little weird. But it is called stress reliever, so I recommend that. Not sure Morgan and licorice tea go together. Awesome! Thank you so much. Again, I can't say your name. Will you leave how to say your name? Thank you so much. Yeah, lavender helped. Lavender, actually, I put some lavender oil sometimes when I remember on my wrist. So I've got it right by my bed. It's good for like sleeping and relaxing. Your pot is boiling. Thank you. See, it's fun cooking with you guys. Do you guys hear that? I think somebody just put their horn on. Huh. I must have been an accident. Man, yesterday, I don't know if it was the neighbor directly, but somebody over there was like, remodeling in their RV, and I just heard like, hammering and, all sorts of stuff, and it almost sounded like somebody was knocking on my RV. So that was kind of weird. Welcome, Drew from Australia. Richard, wear on my sleeves. It just is a thing without sleeves. It's like rolled up. It's just how it comes. Thank you again. I don't know your name. Thank you so much. Oh, here. Oh, Necromancer. Thank you. Okay, now I see your name. I see it. Thank you so much. Let's see. Donald, a blend of equal parts oolong and black is great iced tea. Okay, you want to know what's really good iced tea? Yes, I love oolong alone and black alone, and then together I imagine it's great. Of course, oolong is a type of black tea. But, oh man, the tea that I really love is when you go to Thai restaurants, you get the Thai iced tea, and it's kind of like an orange pico because it's very orange, but very black, strong tea. And then so they make that sweet, and then they put in like a bunch of heavy cream. Oh, it is so good. And they serve it to you. Let's see, the tea's on the bottom and the cream's on top, or it's vice versa, because, cream's probably heavier. But it's split, and then you stir it up. It's really, really good. Sherry says, when you do heavy labor at the house, are you really pooped at the end of the day? Yes. Oh my gosh. Well, let's see. Our subcontractor didn't come. Well, he came, but then he left on Thursday. And so we went home. We'd been working, every day, 8 hours for 2 weeks. And so because he left, we were just like, Todd had to go do materials shopping, and so I was like, well, I'll go home. When you go back to the house, call me, and because I'm right by the house. And so I came back, and I had the deepest sleep nap. I'm so tired at the end of the day, and oftentimes I have to come home and edit a video or do some bookkeeping. So it's been a little hard. Anyway, Richard says all licorice is black. Yeah. So, well, what about the red licorice? Is that not really licorice? I mean, that's just red candy flavor, I guess. All right. Roy says, what is the story behind the house? There is no special story. Actually, definitely look. Necromancer! Awesome, thank you so much. Roy, I suggest going to look at my video. Let's see. What was that called? I think it's called My New Life. Check out that video. You'll see the entire backstory of how it all happened, how it all came together. Otherwise, there's no special story about that house. So check that one out. Money after selling the house. So I hope that's the case. I would love to buy some land and build something on that. So kind of just waiting to see what will come out of it. Right now, it's not even a factor in my mind. It's only possibly there will be some money, because I don't know how much. And if it doesn't sell right away, then we might have to rent it. And then, I wouldn't get money for at least a year. So right now I'm not counting my ducks before they hatch. So Tanner says, did you figure out the best off-grid plan? Not really. I'm kind of just, waiting for a lot of things to come into play, before I can plan or foresee into the future. So, okay, hold on. Let's see. Let me go back because I missed a lot of stuff back here. Okay. James is clarifying what licorice is. Drew says, are you going to do some more road trips? I hope so. Just kind of waiting. Right now I'm tied down with the house, and summer's coming up, so that's great. So it's really a perfect time to start doing that. But at this point, my mind is, work on the house, finish the house, and then see, right? What will everything be like after that? So, oh, thank you, Necromancer, for your donation again. I'm just seeing it now because I was zoomed upward or scrolled upward. Yuka says, how expensive is the land in your neighborhood? Well, do you mean the neighborhood of that house? So some of those houses are under 100K. Now, if they sold now, they might be a little bit more. So there's some interesting deals, and all around Texas. In fact, probably all along the whole Plains states, you know, Tornado Alley, Arkansas, Texas, Iowa, Nebraska, you know, those are all probably going to be cheaper real estate. Of course, maybe not the more north you get, but there's some interesting deals. So thank you so much, Necromancer. I appreciate all of your support. Yeah, Big Al, there's some places under 100K, though as they sell now, they're probably going to be more. They actually, since the purchase of the house that I'm working on, prices are already significantly higher. There's some just really worn down houses, like you can't live in it, you can't buy it and move in because it's so worn down, destroyed, and they're more than this house was. So, and not only that, but they're ridiculously higher priced. So anyway, that will be very interesting for the sale of this house. And Big Al, let's see, square footage on that. I don't know, because I don't have one specific one in mind. I've just looked at previous purchase prices of the neighborhood, and not when they were purchased, but you know, they're like 1,000 square feet, you know, to 1,500 square feet. So 500. Oh yeah. So Richard, where do you live? That's an interesting question. And would you believe? Well, of course you would probably, but I saw a house today. It just kind of came up on Facebook randomly, for sale in Oregon, where I grew up, where people didn't go to that town, you know, and it was like this old little house. It was like $410,000. I just can't believe that price. So would you take investors on some deals? Well, Big Al, I don't know if I can renovate another house. It might be beyond my physical capabilities at this point. It's very, very, very tiring. So I've had thoughts of, you know, like, would I flip a house versus, or would I do that again, right? And I think from what I've kind of learned here, of course, there's plenty I haven't learned on the other end. Thank you again, Necromancer, for your support of the channel. I think it's better to, if you're going to invest in property, buy it and then rent it, because that's an asset that can produce revenue for the entire time you have it, and it's less work to put in before you rent it out. So I think from what I've learned with flipping, that would be the way to go if you're going to invest. Of course, that is purely my own experience, and that's it. So awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate your help, your support of the channel. How much land do you want to live free, off-grid, and free? You know, I guess it depends on, like, how far out. I mean, it just depends, right? Like, when I look at this stuff, I don't have a specific thing in mind. I don't know. You know, it'd be really nice, though. Let's just dream. like, in my mind, manageable size that's still luxurious with the space would be like 1 to 5 acres. If it's bigger than that, I don't know what I would do with it, and I wouldn't want to feel like, you know, super secluded. So if you have too much property, you don't see your neighbors. I mean, I don't want to see neighbors really, but I'd like to know that they're there. Do that contract thing. Texas has land loans for veterans. Find yourself a vet. That's an interesting idea. Hey, Faria from New Jersey. Welcome. Or, oh, wait. Is it, oh yeah, New Jersey. I was thinking New Zealand. No, that's a different, that's Z versus J. So Richard says you should get a Cash app you keep more than YouTube app. I've never heard of that. You mean that's like a video platform or something? Yeah, YouTube really has just this is when they began to screw everybody over. It was in I think it was 2018. Oh wait. No, it was before. In 2018, I remember telling somebody about it because something else happened that affected YouTube. And I can't remember if that was like 1 year before or like 3 years before. But anyway, oh, thank you, Drew. Awesome, he says, love watching you from almost the start a long time ago. Thank you. You did some good videos. I appreciate that. Anyway, good luck. Drew from Australia. Thank you, Drew. I really appreciate that. It means a lot. Really helps out the channel. Thank you. Oh, what was I just saying? Oh, no, now I can't. Oh, yes. Okay, what really affected YouTube was if you had your channel before they turned on the subscribe bell, the notification bell. So if you had the majority of your, like a bulk of your channel before they did that darn notification bell, then all those people that you had subscribed, they didn't get the default notification. So then after that, and I didn't even learn about it until later, and I didn't realize it was such a thing where you had to tell your viewers to click the notification, not just subscribe, but then click another button, and then click how frequently you want notifications, and it just screwed people's channels over. So that meant the bulk of my people, whenever I started putting videos out, they didn't get notifications. So after they did that, you know, my views dropped off quite a bit, you know, I didn't know that it was associated with that, and I wasn't telling people click the notification bell, and you know, I didn't know, you know, do people do anything when you say click the notification bell? But that screwed a lot of creators over when they changed. Now you don't just have to subscribe, but you have to say, actually notify me that a video's up. I mean, what's the point of subscribing if you're not gonna know that that person posted? So that was a huge hit. And then there was something else that they did. I don't know, but I have seen since about probably 2018. Oh, because maybe this was 2018, because in 2018 there was something in Europe. Now let me keep an eye on things. Thank you again, Necromancer, I appreciate that. I'm like getting all distracted. Oh, so in 2018, Europe passed, or the EU passed something where you couldn't have a big business, like, you know, if somebody signed up on something, or if you sent a newsletter out and you said, you know, click here for more for more content or for more emails. It was illegal then to have a check mark checked. So any company, even outside of the EU, if they had customers in the EU, even if they're, American, Chinese, Asian, they still had to follow those rules. So that would be YouTube. So I think maybe that's when the notification bell happened, because then, I'm sorry if I'm being boring. I hope this isn't like so boring. But anyway, because that happened, then YouTube had to comply with that, and it kind of screwed the creators over, because then YouTube had to follow those rules and make each channel say, click if you want a notification. So, hence that darn notification bell that is like, screwed a lot of channels over, especially if the bulk of your subscribers happened before that. Because then what you were normally doing, the normal amount of views you'd get, just cut off, because YouTube was like, well, we can't let them know because they haven't checked the bell. And I think there's been a lot of problems since, I don't know with their coding or what, but I have heard, other people having problems with that, and, their channel just totally not following patterns that it was prior to that. So anyway, that's been really unfortunate. Let's see, somebody says, I like the orange pan. Yeah, so this is, my mom got me this for Christmas one year. It's copper. It's just kind of like a non-stick pan. I don't know if the copper does anything, but I have to clean it with a copper brush. See, this is actually clean, but it looks dirty, right? So I actually have to get a scrubber brush that's copper so it doesn't scratch it and clean that. So, silent watch, hello from Tucson. I love Tucson. Let's see, yeah, I didn't do my video. I used to live in Tucson for 4 years or something. Going to U of A, of course. It makes sense if you know that. Bren says, hi to Chase and Pearl. If you're just jumping on now, I'll show you Pearl. Chase has already gone upstairs. So, you can say hello. Hi, Pearl. Purple baby boos. They are just hanging out. So, let's check this. Let's see. James says, I follow about 900 other YouTubers, mostly makers, but I only have notifications from 50. Oh, and I'm one of the 50. Thank you. Now, James, is it because you clicked the notification bell, or it just does it? Oh, here's another thing that YouTube did, or maybe didn't, but somehow it's happened, that even if you are click to say you want to be notified or that you've subscribed, it'll uncheck your notification, and then some people have even been unsubscribed without wanting. So isn't that interesting? So I mean, it's just really not friendly for its creators anymore. I think they're really pushing their TV shows, because with all this, they've had those TV shows come out on YouTube, right? Like real TV, like CBS and stuff like that. So I think they're kind of like, trying to scooch all the creators over and bring in the more money makers. I don't know. So Steve, large greyhound, she is, she's not that large. If you've seen Chase is actually much bigger, 30 pounds bigger, but she is a larger one for female, so yeah, YouTube is going TV, family friendly. Oh, Richard, you said you were unsubscribed from my channel once. Isn't that crazy? So, DJJ, what's your favorite flipping shows? You know what? I don't watch TV. I never have, like, some cable thing or anything like that. And rarely do I get a chance to like sit down and watch something. So I don't really, but I have watched them in the past. I don't even know. I can only probably name one or two. I could probably name two. So one is Renovation Rehab, and it was this girl in Detroit. I saw that. I don't know if it's still going. And then there was another one with a couple. I think they were in California, and I can't even remember the name of that. Yeah, I can't. So I don't really watch that stuff. So, welcome, Vic. So let me check. I haven't looked at the comments. Let's go backward. I also haven't taken a sip of my tea yet. Isn't it funny? Because I kind of feel like if I drink tea, it's like a moment of boringness. But, oh, whatever. No one is required to be here, right? So, Kevin, yeah, don't you hate it when you start explaining something and you feel like you lost your audience halfway through, even if you did not? I feel like that all the time, hence why I never say anything in groups. It's funny because I tell people that I'm actually really shy and quiet, and they're like, well, but you have a YouTube channel, you know, and it's totally different. But the live videos have, the live videos versus a filmed video like I've always done are very, very, very different feel. And, you know, even just now, right, before I turned this on, I was like, you know, you type in the title and then the description, all that sort of stuff. And then, you know, then it takes the picture and then it says, go live now. And like, I have to like pause and hyperventilate a little bit before I hit that button. Because, I mean, I feel like I'm supposed to carry the show, right? Because I can't fully rely on other people. So it's a little nerve-wracking. And also, if you say something weird, or, you know, I don't know, the neighbor honks their car horn, and then you gotta go check that out. So anyway, but the live videos are more fun because, just like you see now, we're actually interacting, right? So, Art says, was the show called Flip or Flop? It might be. Was Flip or Flop with the Canadian couple? Maybe they were Fix It or Flip It. Anyway, I can't remember. So Jason says there's less echo today. I don't know why. The first video I used my computer, but then I've only used my cell phone. So, but there's not a lot of noise. I don't have the AC going because it's kind of a cooler day. Yes, Richard, a virtual party. Oh, let's see. What did Tanner say about the penny countertop? Let's see. Do you want to put solar on your fifth wheel like you did on your other RV? Yes, I want to. It's time and money. And my last solar install, it was very, very custom. I put big battery banks, big this, big that. It was not something that you can buy. You just can't buy it. I bought all the parts, or at least sourced parts from separate companies, researching specifically the products and brands that I wanted, and put it together. It was very, very custom. Not even like a place that would install them would do something like that. It was much bigger and over the top, and but it was fun, right? And so it took a lot of work. There was a lot of great learning, which was really awesome and fun. Thrilling, but tiring, because I was doing so much of the work in the Arizona heat right before I hit the road. I think that would be in 2017. And so anyway, it's time and money, you know. And when I first got my RV, it was February, and I was in the Dallas area, this area where I'm right now, and it was so cold. I was like, okay, because I was going through like, do I sell my RV with all that stuff and then, or do I keep it and then put it on? And I was like, well, I'd already been off the road for like a few months, and I was like, I really want to get back on the road. You know, the channel was kind of like a traveling show, and I thought a couple things. One, it was so cold. I didn't know if I wanted to be, you know, working with wires and stuff when you needed to wear gloves and, you know, plus it was brand new. It wasn't brand new. It was, you know, it's 2014 rig, but it was brand new to me, and I didn't want to put holes in the roof. So I decided, after a lot of mulling it over and with certainly a heavy heart, I sold my old RV with all the solar stuff. Ugh, it was so hard to. I had nightmares or like bad dreams that I lost my RV. Where was it? Or it was like turned into scrap, and then, you know, my batteries were still good, but they're sitting in a landfill or something. It was hard to do that. So yeah, would I love to have that again? Yes. The other thing is, some of these places that install solar and stuff like that, even though it's all electrical, just because you might have studied electrical engineering doesn't mean you know how to most efficiently put a solar setup together. You know, there's ways to do it. And when I was working with Handy Bob, he was one of my mentors, and you know, checking over my diagrams and stuff like that. And he'd fixed solar setups from RVers for like 20 years. And he saw so many problems. He's like, this is ridiculous that these installers think they know what they're doing, and they don't. They're screwing them over. And you see it still when I interviewed Mark Snyder with Mark Snyder Electric, or I'm missing a word in there. He's been in the solar world since the 70s, and fixes problems. And in fact, he does forensic stuff like this, and therefore also gets a lot of RVers coming in with burnt out inverters and stuff like this. And he says the same thing. These installers don't know what they're doing. And it's kind of hard for me to see people like, oh, I got a new battery and I added it to my bank. And do they not know that that's not the most efficient way to do it? That they're probably, you know, losing some stuff, or they're not treating their batteries as well. So it's kind of annoying after seeing, you know, having these mentors that are fixing problems, and then other people are like, oh, the marketing says this and that, you know, I don't know. So so I would not want somebody else to install it unless it was somebody that I trusted like them, which means that I would have to do it. And you know, I don't know. So anyway, that is my long-winded answer. Oh, Santa says, I used your rack system for my RV, probably then added a hinge and 12-volt activator to raise the roof. That is really cool. Oh man, Santa, that's awesome. I would love to see that. So what I did on my RV, here's another thing that people don't get, and then the installers are just ignore it. Okay, the back of the panel needs air. It needs at least like 4 inches, right? Well, guess what the solar panel people send you? They send you like a little foot like this, and your panels need more air than that. They get hot. It's not hot because it's in the sun. Well, it is that, but it's even harder because it's harvesting electricity. So you need airflow. So you should have at least 4 inches underneath your panels, but so many people stick them on their roofs, glue them to their roofs. I mean, it's just like, you just see all these basics ignored and just not followed. So for me, it's a little annoying sometimes. Anyway, let me get back to the rack that Santa said he used for, that I did and that he used for his. So I made, I used aluminum angle, extruded angle, and I built a rack, you know, like, I mean, just a rack on the roof of my RV. And I got a ton of people saying, those are going to fly off, they're going to fly off. Nope, they never flew off. Drove around for a year and a half with them, and they never flew off. So so let me tell you more reasons why I raised the rack. Here's another thing that people are missing. When you put your solar panel flat, okay, oh, there's so many things, and I didn't mean to get into this, but let me just touch on a couple. Let me just give you the reason why I raised mine. If you have a shadow, even if it's a tiny shadow on your solar panel, even if it's like less than 1/8 of a shadow, it does not have to do with the percentage of shadow on your panel. It has to do, all of those things are going to, all the cells compensate, right? So if one goes down, they all try to match that. So it's not like if you have 1/8 of the panel shaded, you're going to lose 1/8 of your harvesting. It's not that, it's more. So if you have a little shadow, you can lose like 1/3 of your panel's harvesting abilities. So you'd think, oh, well, what shade can you get? You can get shade from your little vents, from your air conditioning units, from your and TV antenna. All of that can cause shade. So, well, I didn't think about the TV antenna. I'm not going to put them like, 4 feet in the air, but I put mine at the height of my air conditioner unit. So no matter what angle I parked, I would never have shade on my panels. So then it was good for having the air and having no shade. But it was also great because it actually shaded my RV roof. So when you're on solar power, you have to park in the sun. That might be something that people don't always get. So when it's hot out, last thing you want to do is park in the sun. But if you're on your solar, you want to park in the sun. So that's something that I didn't figure out until I was on, my RV was fully on solar. So anyway, those are reasons why I raised mine. Anyway, he is saying that he did the same thing that everybody was skeptic about. They're going to blow off. No. And then he put something to raise them up. So the reason why you want to raise them up is because, so if the solar panel is like this, as the sun comes around and its rays are like this, as the sun's like right here, the rays are not, the panel's not harvesting as much photovoltaic opportunity as it can. So if you raise it up to match, that's why some of these track the sun, so they get the maximum solar, photovoltaic rays. So that's good. Plus, if you are like more north in the hemisphere or in the globe, the sun's lower. So even though it looks overhead, it's still farther over here. So you can raise it up to match that. Anyway, so mine did not move, but what a cool idea to do that. However, what I did find, because I did consider that, and let's see, I'm just totally missing. Oh, the only thing about when you make them so that they can tip is that that will only work when the sun's on one side. So anyway, was that enough about solar stuff? I feel like I got off of it. Laura Lee, I came home today and I saw that you were not at the park and I missed you, so it's good to see you. Let's see. Barb, thank you so much for watching the last video and enjoying that. Yeah, so Kevin says the solar panels being the shade definitely work better. Before, if you saw an earlier video, I used Reflectix material. Reflectix is the brand name. Awesome. Thank you, South Bay Technology Gurus. Thank you. I appreciate that. So I used the Reflectix material because I was in Arizona at the time, and I just really wanted to get the temperature down as much as possible. So I put that material up on the roof, and it actually made a difference, but only temporarily, because then the material began to break apart and the shiny stuff kind of flaked off over time. But I did use it for 2 years. Welcome, LaDonna. Melissa, yeah, so right now, I was saying a little bit earlier, I know people jump on and off. Right now I'm really tied down with the house, focusing on getting that done. It would be nice to go somewhere, you know, even if it's just for a weekend, or maybe even like a month, get away and kind of get back in the RV. So, or I mean, I'm in the RV, but back on the road, back in that, have a little bit of that. Let's see. I am just reading everybody's comments because I was talking for such a long time. The pop-out chat so you can see the question better. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm looking at it on my laptop, so it's a bar along the side. Howdy, Leanne. Welcome. Let me scroll back up because I feel like I was talking for a long time. Let's see. Oh, I see. Because I'm coughing, you guys are like, you got the corona. I think it's because I don't talk very much. Now I'm talking a lot. And some of that solar stuff gets me all fired up. Comet Swan can now be seen with the naked eye. I don't know what that is, but that sounds pretty cool. It sounds like something I'd be interested in. Maybe crowdfund the upgrade for the fifth wheel, like solar. Yeah, that might be an idea to crowdfund it. You know, I just kind of honestly think people would never do that, so I wouldn't, I just, that sort of stuff never occurs to me. Anyway, South Bay Technology says, how much solar you got? So, if you don't know, that was on my older rig, and that I sold and then got this one. Let's see, I think I had over 800 amp hours in battery life, which is pretty powerful. Definitely more than you'd need for an RV, but I wanted a lot. And I had 650 watts on the roof. So anyway, it was more that I like the idea of having more battery power because you don't want to run those down. You know, there's a maintenance. In fact, don't get me started on all this solar stuff because I have opinions. But I have some videos on how to maintain at least wet batteries to maintain the best life. In fact, I am not on the lithium bandwagon. I love the idea, and they will be there, hopefully, fingers crossed, at some point. I am not on the lithium bandwagon, and I've got plenty of things to talk about why, but that's not what this video is. I've got other videos for that. So, let's see. Let me see what we've got down here. Richard, Pippi got the Rona. I'm coughing because I'm talking to you. Oh yeah, the other thing, here's another thing that is to consider when you're putting panels on your roof is you want, if they're in their own array, you want them always facing the same way, because if one's shaded, you're dropping this one by like, you know, whatever percent down. I can't remember the exact equation, but if they're not equally getting the same amount, one is getting less, and that will drop the other down. So you'll never have the maximum. So some roofs have angles and stuff, so you don't want to have one here and then one kind of here, and I mean that's just not going to work. Anyway, I think somebody just said the rice. Yes, I got the rice done. I actually fed the dog. Well, they had I gave him some snacks because I didn't thaw this out, so I couldn't give them their dinner at the right time, so I gave them some snacks, and they ate their kibble. Anyway, the rice and the beef that I make for the dogs isn't like a food replacement. It's more of an appetizer. Scott, thank you so much for supporting, and hi, hi back at ya. Anyway, it's kind of more for, you know, I make it for the week or whatever. So, anyway. Ted, really, if you're going to go, if you want the best bang for your buck, really, this is just pure science. If you want the best bang for your buck, longest lasting, if you're not going to be lazy and mistreat them, is flooded. So I've always used the Crown batteries, and I just got another Crown battery for my RV, and in fact for my truck as well. And I'm going to be doing a video on that soon. And I'm hoping to fix a generator issue with the new battery. So anyway, that is a video that is coming up, and whenever I get time to do it. So I feel like I have a lot to do. South Bay Technology, how much propane does the fifth wheel have? Mine has compartments for 3, I think they're, are they 10-gallon tanks? So I've got about 30 gallons of and I really only use the gas quickly when I'm using the heater. When I use it for cooking or my gas water heater, in fact, I only use the electric water heater because the gas one hasn't worked since I bought it, and I still haven't fixed it, but I do plan to. So with 30 gallons, it lasts me a really long time. Oh, and the generator uses the propane, which I'm really excited about, having a generator that's propane run over gasoline or diesel. Oh, is it? No, yeah, it's propane. Welcome, Mrs. Diane. Thank you for joining. We've had quite a bit of a discussion so far, and I'm kind of trying to get through people's comments. Oh, Douglas says, love it or list it. Yeah, that's the one with the Canadian couple, isn't it? Yes, I think that's the one. Yeah, barbecue size is 10, and I think mine's a little bigger. I don't know if it's, sorry, you said barbecue size is 5. I think mine's a little, my 3 are a little bigger than the regular barbecue size, but I'm not sure if it's double. Do they have like an 8? Maybe 8 would be, but maybe it is actually 10. So, propane or fridge fluid. Well, yeah, thank you, Diane. I know I'm probably just going to be ending this right now because it's been over an hour, and let's see. That's an interesting question. South Bay Technology says, how much time did you spend shopping for the fifth wheel? Wow. At least a month. At least a month. It was more like, you know, do a lot of research, zero in on some strategies, but then the actual shopping phase, and now this is what I recommend if you're going out looking for an RV. Some people are like, oh, we've been looking and shopping for a year, and it's like, you haven't been shopping for a year if you haven't bought one yet, because when you're ready to buy, that's when you're really shopping. Otherwise, you're just looking at stuff, you know. So I don't know if I can put into a time frame on when I was doing the shopping, but here's an interesting thing. I wasn't finding the right one, you know, things weren't working out, and I knew that if I wanted to get back on the road, it'd be better to have a newer rig, something that it wouldn't be scary to drive in the Rocky Mountains, you know, and wondering if I'm going to get stuck on a hill. So I wanted something upgraded. And so I was kind of putting on the ability to keep doing my channel was, you know, tied to getting a new fifth wheel. And I think I had made a ton of calls. I really think my real condensed shopping period was smaller, but I was also in a hurry too. So after making calls and, you know, things not going through, I gave up. And I was like, you know what? I just won't go. I won't go back on the road. And I was like, I don't know what I'll do. I don't know if I can do the channel and not travel. I was like, I just won't. And again, it's something, now if you're just joining the channel or the video, I have a story at the beginning I recommend. It has to do with this necklace that I'm wearing. Like that story, that very moment that I was like, I just won't do it. I just, you know, I give up. That moment I thought, okay, just call one more. And that one more was this one. The lady answered immediately and the deal was done. So, and then it was just, what day are you coming down to get it? So in the very moment that I just, you know, gave up, was one more thing, go make one more call. and then it worked out. So anyway, I will leave it with that story. I hope that's somewhat like inspiring, because I think that's a cool story. And if you didn't watch the story about this necklace from the very beginning of this video, definitely check that out, because that's another really inspiring, cool thing that happened. And thank you guys. I'm going to, let's see, yeah, everybody's process is really different. Anyway, I'm going to end this now because it's been 73 minutes, and I'm going to sit down. But again, I've really enjoyed hanging out with you guys. This is a very unique thing to, you know, hang out with all. When I look here, I'm looking at the comments, so I kind of feel like you guys are here. But then when I talk, I know you see me looking at you when I look over here. So it's very cool to hang out with you guys and communicate with you guys, and yeah, I'm glad you guys like it, because it's very different than my other videos. So I'm glad you guys like it. I like it. It's less work for me, so it means I can get, you know, more out. So anyway, thank you guys, and we'll see you next time. I'm gonna go come over here and hit the X. Have a good night. Happy Memorial Day.